where are the scissors? I've just buried the scissors.
Hi, Clive.
I shall
And
use
action.
a knife.
Let's go to work.
Slash it open with a knife. Now I see the scissors. Now, I've shown you these little spiral lights or touch lights, but this is just a USB flame lamp, and it looks, to all intents and purposes, if it is just one of these flames, maybe. I'm not sure what's inside it. I don't think it's either of those filaments. Oh, hold on. Now I have to dig the scissors out. Found them. Oh, I just spotted something. You know those two identical lights in different boxes? They've got identical instructions. There was one difference. The one in the white box had a much more robust headband. The other one was a bit too soft and stretchy to the point that it could actually just slip down your head. But ultimately, I've just got their own favourite idea of the headband. So this does have a little flame effect in it. Let's plug it in and see what it looks like, if it's flickery or... Is there a side that looks better? There's two versions available. You get the diffused and you get the non-diffused. I'm going to change the lighting so you can actually see this better. I'm not sure that is better, but it's what I've done. It does have that, so that it just looks like it's ramping up and down now. No, I'll change back to the other lighting. It was better. But that is a different filament. It looks very different from the other ones. I'm not sure which is the best side. One side will have the LEDs and the other will just be phosphor. I think this is the side with the LEDs on it. But it only appears to have maybe about 4 channels again. Maybe it is just the same chip as the one in this. But that's it, but it's definitely a larger sort of cob. But it's a nice enough effect. It's just a good visual thing. Let me just check the current draw of this. I shall find a suitable measuring device. This. So I'll plug in the HOLIIDAYS. Let it boot, plug this in, and it's going to be all over the place, isn't it? It's wavering up to the peak so far has been about 33 milliamps, so I wonder if there's any current limiting that at all. But that's interesting. A neat effect. It's quite a novel twist on the usual, the bottle type lights. And are these bottles actually the leftover vaccine bottles? Are they used vaccine bottles? Who knows? But there we have it. Interesting stuff. Lots of head torches, little tiny scales, tools, filaments, just the works. Interesting stuff. I should zoom back out again. So that was all right. I shall do the tests on those lights and this one, and we'll see what size of batteries in them, because sometimes they let themselves a bit down by using tiny batteries. But on the other hand, you know, if there's enough space inside, we can perhaps upgrade the batteries in those to make them more useful and functional lights. But that's it. A good haul as always.
Now people from nearby cities all come to join us. Well, such a successful city owner, me. Crossplay.
It is time for another glorious unbagging of delightful tat. And one of the items that came was quite expensive, and it's out of its bag because it was so suspicious when it arrived, because they'd literally taken this big heavy battery tester or load test module, and they had basically just wrapped it in bubble wrap and stuffed it in a grey bag and jammed down the back of the current shunt here, the bit that senses the current, was a little bag with a couple of plastic feet in it, spare feet, because, well, one of them had completely sheared off underneath. That must be a standard thing. You'd think they maybe put it in a box or something like that to give it some protection, but apparently not. However, it seems to have survived. We shall take a look at that. We'll use it in later videos.
Don't make me laugh, Clive. I'll still paint with you if I start laughing.
That arrived was this
Clive, don't make me laugh. Please.
Bigger style mains voltage bipolar ionizer. This unit has it's designed for use in air conditioning units, very much
Clive,
from
please don't make me laugh
pandemic era. And it has the 2 tufts of carbon fibers.
I know what I'm like. There'll be red paint
One is
everywhere.
charged at a positive voltage, and there's a strong airflow between them. Let me actually power this up. So it's now powered and drawing just under 0.4 watts, yo-yoing up and down a bit. And I don't know if you'll hear this. It's got a little flickery green indicator on.
Von Richthofen.
If I hold this up to the
From
ground, will
Rektoffen
you-
also.
No, I don't
Belcher.
want to hold it too close because, well, it's high voltage. And to give you a demonstration of how it's high voltage, well, let me grab the meter.
Is it dry?
So with the meter,
Fucking man.
I can ground one of the leads. I'll ground one of the leads and then hold it roughly in front of the negative emitter here, and it shows significant negative voltage. Then there's significant positive voltage once it's stabilized, lower positive voltage though I do notice, but it's most notable there's a strong airflow between these emitters here because they've got such a high charge between them. And if I actually hold these probes roughly about an inch apart between them, it shows 10 volts just flowing through the air. Quite interesting. That will be fun to explore, although really I'd like to open it.
Very
and that's
interesting, Clive.
going to be made difficult by the fact it is potted solidly in resin. Do I get my nails off it? Yes, a whiff of ozone
Don't
and
let me laugh,
other
Clive,
exotic
please.
chemicals. The power stabilized is still just under 0.4 watt.
Man.
With very
Next.
good power factor, which kind of hints that it's probably just a resistive limiter inside.
Oh, yeah.
Then a SIDAC pulsing a coil. Right, let me put this out the way. Interesting.
Huge.
They were being sold at considerable cost during the pandemic as
You.
cure-alls. Right, let's open this. This is a set of calipers. I can feel it's a set of calipers. But I got 2 sets of calipers. I actually got 3 sets of calipers.
You.
This one
Poker tempest.
looks like the monster display one.
Yes,
I'll find
you.
out when I actually take it out.
Sydney can. And you too. The Russians are coming. Watch out. And you are my baby forever. Because you are my baby. No, you know. Because you are my baby.
Does it have the monster display? It does have the monster display. This will require a 2032 cell. Let me just go and find that.
You
Oh
are my
yeah, that's
sex.
a much bigger display. Isn't that a lot better? But also note that it takes a 2032. Is it going to have
Beautiful.
better battery life than the other ones?
Just keep giving
Radio. I shall
stardust
press this
and
button
love.
to turn it off. I say turn it off. Many of these they don't actually turn off when you turn it off because they'll keep their
Right.
last setting. In fact, we can find that out. It just woke itself up. I turn it off. Move position. Yeah, it just
Nobody
turns
knows
itself on.
better.
So this thing is keeping track of it.
And her.
So it is sort of staying awake. What's the other caliber? This should just be like the classic type.
Because nobody does it better.
She'll cut
Half as
this
good as you.
open.
Baby, baby.
No, it's also a huge display.
Baby.
I really buy 2 pairs of huge display calipers. Right,
Don't
lovely.
test.
That means I probably have another one on the way because I wanted to do an experiment. But anyway, I apparently have 2. This is good. I'll put this one next to the 3D printer
Oh, man, just
where
show
it's convenient. Are they identical? They're not identical, are they? They're completely different. What's the difference here? Right. I mean, they look similar-ish. I shall cut this
You
open.
must see.
They have, when they've
You
bagged
are.
this up, they have
That's it.
bagged it to the shape of the caliper. It's only going to come out one end.
Yeah, I think it's it, Clive.
Now I have to find another 2032 lithium cell.
I'm
One
going
of
to
them,
breakfast. Or is it lunchtime?
So the one with the smaller bezel,
Once I
the
clean this up.
slimmer bezel, has
And-
a thicker, bolder, bigger display than the one
Thanks,
with the big,
Clive.
huge, chunky bezel.
And cup.
Interesting. Any brands on these? Carbon fiber composites digital.